Mauna Kea. Uh, I guess the question is why the whole mountain needs to be closed, and I see that on your agenda, so I'm sure you're going to touch with that. You know, the Kauai area finally opens for muzzleloader, and now it's closed for half the season to start with, but it's not looking like this is going to get any better anytime soon. So I'm sure they're going to extend that closure. And I know concern from people on the ground in DLNR here is that this is going to run into bird season, and that's going to be really a bad deal. So I, you know, hopefully we can maybe work out some way to not have the whole entire mountain closed.
Why, when there's miles and miles away, they
Right.
can't hunt? What is what? How are the? How is it a safety issue? But they just keep saying the same blanket thing. We have to do this for the safety and
Correct.
security of the public. They don't explain why. No matter how many
Yeah,
ways you
it
ask.
just seems to
they
me
just-
that it's just
yeah.
kind of a little bit of a pushing their weight a little bit. See if we can make some changes to that.
Teresa
There's
Williams.
gates in Kimole that they can close. So I mean, you could have that half of the mountain closed or open, or
It's heavy-handed.
I mean, there's ways around,
Yeah.
and it's not hardly hunted anymore, really. But
Do you think that now the Hunting Association and hunters should now write to the governor and the state and say what is the, you know, given the distance and point out to them that it makes no sense. It's
Right.
common sense.
and hearing Teresa earlier speak on the aquatics, on how the people here were against certain things, yet still things went the way that they did with that. Pretty much the same thing happening here, and this is my observation, that maybe we should try and express that it's the same thing that's happening up on a mountain right now. Is years of government just pushing things down our throat that we don't necessarily think is good or right. Yet, you know, they call it a process, but yet the process is flawed. I can sympathize with those people up there because we've been dealing with the same thing with our hunting for all these years. From the eradication of the sheep, from the taking away of all the mountain in Hakalau. You know, they take all this away from us, but yet, what are they doing in there? Nothing really. They're not putting nothing back that wasn't there already, aside from just ruining our pig hunting on the outskirts of that.
This is from effective July 15th to August 12th. And from my understanding, this might be extended due to the ongoing activity on Mauna Kea. So there was a letter that was sent out by Nani to the mayor, and the mayor just wrote back as of today. So Nani, if you want to just do some highlights off of that.
You want to read it?
I'll read what I have. Just due to the safety and safety of the movement of the heavy construction equipment related to the 30-meter telescope, we believe that the safety of everyone concerned is extremely important and agree that a temporary closure of hunting areas is warranted at this time. However, he does say, please be aware that in any event, the County of Hawaii does not have jurisdiction over the closure area, which is on state land. Then he says, I encourage you to contact your state representative and state senators. So I forwarded my letter to the Kona side representatives. I should probably do the rest of the state elected officials for the rest of the island, the Big Island delegation. I'll just forward over your letter, Nani, along with Mayor Kim's comments. And he's right. You know, the county doesn't have jurisdiction over the closure of
But the
of these
county
lands.
represents the people of Hawaii, hunters in particular.
Right. But who's the governing jurisdiction?
I would think the county could defend the people of Hawaii. I don't know, but
Could you, I'm asking you, to do a follow-up letter stating through common sense knowledge that these areas are nowhere near the project?
right, it was.
And how many, I guess we have to be logistic about it. How many miles away from the intersection? And, to block Waikiki Road, to be at to put a blockade by the former road on the Hilo side. You know how many miles away that is from the entrance to the access road? Where is common sense playing into this blockade?
Like Willie Joe said, it's not about that.
No, these are about the blockades, blocking us access to areas that is nowhere near the TMT or the access road. It's miles away. It makes no common sense. So if we could write a letter or draft a letter, I'll help you with it if you would get in touch with me, and write to the governor and to Case and DoCare and the police department that these areas, how do we feed our family? It's, if we go back to basic and write in this letter the very basic that we feed our family, and they are prohibiting us and constitutionally denying us, and they're violating the Constitution of Article 12, Section 7. And if we can do that, this is what this body is for. It's about communicating what we represent in our community.